Hi, this is Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com, right back here on WagerTalk TV with your NBA Pro Basketball Fade the Public edition for this Sunday, May the 7th. We did a Saturday edition. If you're joining us on Saturday still, not too late to check out that one. But we're doing an additional one for Sunday because we have the Game 4 lines known now for the matchups between the Celtics and Sixers on Sunday afternoon, and then the nightcap between the Nuggets and Suns, a pair of big, critical Game 4s. Each series is 2-1, so this is a critical game for both series. I'm going to let you know where the public is leaning, but more importantly, we're going to take a deep dive into the analytics of both series and let you know where maybe there's some edges with the sides or totals or even some player props here on Wager Talk TV. Quick reminder, it's been a fantastic 2023 in the NBA to say the least, up over 80 units of profit in pro basketball. In fact, number one ranked in 2023. NBA playoffs alone are hitting 70%. So the regular season was fantastic. We entered the playoffs ranked number one, and we've held on to that number one ranking, hitting 70% now in the NBA postseason. I've got a big card for Sunday basketball and baseball at wagertalk.com. But more importantly, take a serious long term investment approach. And right now, you can get the rest of the NBA season for free when you buy baseball. Here's how it works: get that 2 month baseball package through the All Star game in mid July, and I'm including the rest of the NBA playoffs and finals, a $179 value for free. There is no promo code needed. You got to go my page, though, to get this special offer. Steve Merril, wagertalk.com. Get there quicker with shortcut code WT.buzz/SM. All right, let's look at the two games on Sunday in pro basketball. One daytime, one nighttime. We're starting the Eastern Conference Game 4 between the Celtics and the Sixers, and this game is on ESPN national TV at 3:30 Eastern Sunday afternoon. Celtics, I think, are the team to beat in the NBA playoffs. I've talked a couple times about their top three offense and defensive efficiency. The other two times it's happened in the postseason in recent years, Golden State won the title both years. So I've really felt since the playoffs began that Boston is the team to beat. We had a strong best bet with them in game two after the game one loss. I stayed off game one. The loss, the line was very inflated with them beat out. And the Sixers won outright, something we've seen NBA teams do for several years now. They play up, the other team lets down. But I thought game two was a really focused spot for the Boston Celtics, and that's exactly how it played out with that easy 34-point blowout winner on Wednesday night. That was an easy best bet for my clients at Wager Talk. Stayed off game three. I did not use game three because, it looked like a good bounce back spot for the Sixers, but I wasn't fully sure what the health status of Embiid was. Luckily, I didn't know that Embiid was going to play so well because he had 30 points in 39 minutes. He had 4 blocks, 13 rebounds. And the reason I say that is because I probably would have liked the Sixers had I known he was going to play well, but that didn't matter. They still lost by 12 points, and now they're down 1-2 back at home. The Celtics are my preferred side in this series. I still think they're the best team in the NBA. They were the favorite in the finals last year. I think they're definitely the favorite to win the finals this year. However, Boston does have a tendency to let down at times in the regular season, and even in the postseason, we've seen them blow that 13-point lead in the clincher game 5 against Atlanta and lost outright in the last round. We had a couple best bets on the Celtics in the regular season, which they blew double-digit leads when it looked like they had an easy cover. So you got to imagine if Boston might take their foot off the gas and let down a bit in a series or in a game in this series, it very well could be this game 4 on Sunday afternoon. So that is a concern. I think the Celtics are the better team. I think they match up well against the Sixers, and that's something, by the way, we saw in the Rays. And also, don't forget, Boston matched up pretty well against the Sixers in the regular season. So Boston's going to win this series. It's just a question: do they win Game 4 or not? If they lose this game, it probably sets up a good play in Game 5. Boston is my preferred side in the series, but the situational setup looks better for Philly, and we are getting some line value. They were 2.5 in game 3 the other night, and that was without knowing the exact status and health of Embiid. He obviously was fine. They still lost, and now the public is actually leaning in some spots, surprisingly, towards the Sixers. I was a little surprised to see that because with this line staying the same, Boston winning back-to-back games, I thought the public would come in on Boston, but they're actually leaning Philadelphia, at least the early numbers I'm looking at as of Saturday afternoon. We'll see where it changes by Sunday. Obviously, there'll be more public money coming in Sunday morning. But the public was on Philly in the other games, especially after their blowout win or their upset win in game 1. So I think it's taken them a little long to adjust. I was surprised to see a public lean towards the Sixers in that game, but at least the early indicators appear to be the way this game is going to play out from a public betting stance. As far as the over-under in this game, public has been pretty neutral on the total so far in this series, but the early public lean does look like it's perhaps on the over in this one. We'll keep a closer eye on it as we get closer to tip-off. But the public looks on the over. Fairly split. I see some leans on Philly, like I said, but I think that might neutralize more on Sunday. So I'm not going to call much of a lean on the side in this one. But I do think the money's coming in on the over in this game, and it's going to stay that way when more public money comes in on Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon. Keep in mind, this game landed right near the total on Friday night. It landed 216. The line was 215, and about an hour before tip-off, we saw a heavy, sharp money move to the under, dropping it to 213 in many spots, and a little bit of a buyback near tip-off. So it landed right near the total in this one. Philly did not shoot well from two-point range. Overall, they were just 40% from the field, yet they shot 43% from three. And that's another concern with Philly in this game, is they actually outshot Boston 43 to 36% from three, even though Boston is the team that relies more on three-point shots. And Philly also made two more free throws, and they still lost by 12. So that's another reason I don't like the matchup. Boston's going to win this series. It's just a question if Boston takes their foot off the gas and regresses a bit in game four, as they've had a tendency to do this season. All right, that's the daytime game at 3:30 Eastern on ESPN Sunday afternoon. Also a nighttime game at 8 o'clock Eastern on TNT, game four between the Nuggets and Suns. Quick reminder, you get my best bets for Sunday. In fact, all my NBA best bets for the rest of the season for free when you get that 2-month baseball subscription. That gets every MLB best bet through the All-Star break, through the All-Star game on July 11th, and it gets the rest of the NBA season and the finals for free. That's a $179 value for free instantly. No promo code needed. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. Number one ranked this year in 2023 in the NBA, up over 80 units of profit. It's just been a fantastic 2023 in the NBA. We're hitting 70% in the NBA playoffs alone. Isn't it time you start taking a serious long-term investment approach and get aboard my red hot NBA and my red hot baseball? You know, NBA's up 88.5 units already in 2023. MLB sides are hitting 67% this season. So I'm seeing baseball pretty well also. And I've been number one or number two ranked basically every year in MLB total since I joined 3 years ago at WagerTalk.com. Buy baseball, get the rest of the NBA for free. No promo code needed. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. Get there quicker with shortcut code WT.buzz/SM. All right, let's look at the nightcap at 8 o'clock Eastern on TNT Sunday night. Nuggets at the Suns. We had a strong best bet on Denver in game one of this series, and it worked out quite easily. I stayed off game two. I resisted the zigzag. I was very tempted by Phoenix, a quality team off a loss. But I liked Denver as far as the matchup at home, especially. So I stayed off game two as a best bet. And it worked out because Phoenix being down 0-2 actually set up a great play in game three. And that's kind of what I was hoping would happen. And we got a great setup. Not only did we cash with Phoenix in the full game, we also had them in the first half on Friday night. We really loaded up on Phoenix. And that's part of the reason we're up 88.5 units in 2023 in the NBA at WagerTalk.com. Teams down 0-2. We all know they do well in game three. They do extremely well in the first half. Phoenix was actually down 2 in the first quarter and then pulled ahead, outscored the Nuggets by 17 in the second quarter. So we got the first half cover. We got the full game cover. And it was a good bounce back spot for Phoenix. So the question is, who bounces back here in game four now? The Nuggets are still the number one seed, and quality dogs in game four off a loss are always worth a look. So Denver would be my lean in this one. My concern, though, is that Phoenix has been very strong at home this season, and the Nuggets have been much weaker on the road. In fact, the Suns are 31-14 at home. They're just 19-26 away. Now, a lot of those games obviously didn't have Kevin Durant in the lineup. They are a much better team with him. But Denver's home-road dichotomy makes a lot of sense because they have the thin air and altitude edge at home. They've always played well at home. It's always tough for road teams, especially during the regular season, maybe a no-rest travel situation. And Denver was 39-7 straight up at home this year. They're now just 20-24 on the road. Now, that's a decent road record overall in the NBA, but not when you're the fourth best team in the league, the number one team in the West. So Denver has been weaker on the road. Phoenix has been stronger at home. We'll see if that dichotomy makes a difference because on the surface, it's a good setup for Denver off that loss in game three, in which, once again, was a very tough spot for him. It was kind of a flat letdown spot. Something else to keep in mind, Chris Paul was out in game three. That line went from 5 to 3.5 earlier in the week, and then it went back up to 4. I actually thought Paul being out might be a good thing for Phoenix. We need to keep an eye on his status, obviously, for the rest of this series with that groin strain. Obviously, I thought Devin Booker would have to step up, and he did exactly that. I mentioned on the NBA tip-off show Friday that I thought Booker over 7.5 assists had some value. He ended up with 9 assists, so that cash. He had a huge game. Not only did he get 9 assists, but he had 47 points He went 20 for 25 from the field. Hard to imagine that's going to continue. He does have a tendency to regress a bit after these monster games. Kevin Durant, though, just 12 for 31. If you had said Durant's going to be 12 for 31, you wouldn't have thought Phoenix was going to win. You probably wouldn't have thought he'd have 39 points. But as expected, Durant and Booker did all the heavy lifting. They had 86 of the 121 points for the Suns, and they took 56 of their 95 field goal attempts, and they made 32 of the 48 field goal attempts. Just monster game from both of them. So once again, if Denver is able to shut down either one, if Chris Paul doesn't play, then that's going to be a tough road for the Suns. So I lean towards Denver in this one. It looks like a decent bounce back spot. But once again, that home road dichotomy is a concern, obviously, in this one. As far as the public lean in this one, so I'm doing this on Saturday afternoon, so it's still early. A couple different spots I'm looking at. It does look like the public will probably be on a split on the total here. I'm seeing a very split total. No lean on the total in this one, but I am seeing the public. Looks like they're going to be leaning towards the Suns here. I'd actually say the most public lean in either game is probably Phoenix, at least from the early numbers I'm looking at. So we'll say over in the Celtic game is probably the most public play there. And the Phoenix Suns is going to be the most public play in this one on either the side or total. So Phoenix looking a little bit public here. And I guess the public likes what they saw in game 3 on Friday night, especially that monster performance from Durant and Booker. The question is, can they do it again? Will Denver make the necessary adjustments to shut them down? Jokic, once again, 17 rebounds, 30 points, 17 assists. The guy not only had a triple-double, but he did it by 7+ on both the rebounds and assists, 17 each. It's just insane. For a big guy, a 7-footer, to have 17 assists and still put up 30 points, I just can't fathom that. That's how good this guy is. Once again, he had a great game, and they still lost. So that's a concern, I guess, on the Denver side. But this should be a great matchup at 8 o'clock Eastern on Sunday night. I think it's a good bounce back spot for the Nuggets. We'll just see if they can play a little bit better on the road. All right, those are the 2 games on Sunday. Hope you enjoyed this content. Just another reminder to hit subscribe and hit the bell for instant alerts. When I do these videos on the fly, we pop them up on the weekend. You get an instant alert so you can get some great information here on WagerTalk TV. Check out the shows all week long, Monday through Friday as well here on the network. We have WagerTalk today at noon Eastern, first pitch at 2 o'clock, NBA tip-off show at 4 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. Last call on Thursday nights. And don't forget about last call / first call on Saturday mornings at 11 a.m. Eastern. I did it this past Saturday. Watch the replay right here on WagerTalk TV with Megan Payton and company. Hey, leave me some comments below. I love the comments. I read them all and I reply back. Also, give it a thumbs up, a like if you found it useful. And don't forget to check me out on Twitter. Tons of free information, daily updates on Twitter at Steve Merril, 2 R's, 1 L, Merril, at Steve Merril on Twitter. And once again, a super strong Sunday in both MLB and NBA. Why not get the rest of my number 1 ranked NBA 2023 season for free? Up over 88.5 units, 70% of the NBA playoffs, and you get it for free when you sign up for a 2-month baseball package. That gets you all my baseball best bets every day through the All-Star game in mid-July, plus the rest of the NBA season for free. That's an instant $179 discount with no promo code needed. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. Get there quicker. Shortcut wt.buzz/sm. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the games. I'll talk to you again soon right here on WagerTalk TV.